Vlogtober. I'm feeling much more optimistic about this Tuesday than I was last Tuesday when I posted this video about how I needed to plan better based on my Mondays. Well, I did in fact do just that, and the way that I did that is approaching my Tuesday with grace and giving myself grace. And it's worked very well so far. Yesterday slash this morning was actually a more complicated and exhausting Monday to Tuesday than normal because my husband, who was supposed to leave on a business trip yesterday, ended up having his flight so delayed that he would miss his connecting. So his option was to leave on a 5 a.m. flight this morning, which meant that he had to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning. And in order to ensure that he got up, I set an alarm, he set multiple alarms. And so I knew on the day that I was going to bed later, having to come down from a musical creation adrenaline rush because of choir rehearsal that ran long, where we were choreographing and doing all of these things, amazing fun time, loads of fun, enjoy every second of it. However, knowing that I'm gonna get woken up in the middle of the night was like, ugh. But it was fine. It was fine. So I knew I set an alarm for 7 o'clock, and then I gave myself permission if the alarm went off and I was still really tired to just sleep. So I ended up sleeping until about 8. And you know what? Even if that's not aligned with my 5 to Thrive for Operation Focus Finished Q4 of the year, I don't care, because I actually, instead of feeling miserable due to utter exhaustion, I don't. I'm running a bit slower than normal, and I'm running a little bit later than normal, but that's okay because the only thing actually on my agenda today is a silent co-working session with my paid Patreon members. And that's just where people who are available get together on Zoom and do their own thing. Literally, microphones are off and we're just all in the same room getting stuff done. So all I have to do today is get stuff done, which is amazing. I'm also really grateful that my husband's flight was delayed. The Lord works in mysterious ways, because I got in the car on my way home or from rehearsal last night, and my tire light came on. And my tire light has never come on for me. And I was like, what in the world? So I said a little prayer because my husband was already in bed and supposed to be asleep because he had to be awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, this is literally the worst day for me to have to call my husband and be like, hey, I know you needed to sleep early, but my tire light is on. So I was like, let me just get home and maybe I'll leave him a post-it note, and if he can address it before he leaves at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, great. And if not, we'll figure something else out. Well, I got home and I get greeted by Gracie, who I was previously told was locked in the bedroom with him. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I hear from the bedroom, hi. Like kind of like a Ross Geller hi. And I was like, so how's that sleeping going? And he goes, not great. I've been dozing, but not sleeping for 2 hours now. And so he's like, once I looked at the clock and saw you'd be home soon, I was like, well, no point in falling back asleep now. So he was awake. Not only was his flight delayed, but my husband, who was supposed to be sleeping, was wide awake. And so I looked at him and I was like, so do you want me to put another wrench in your evening? My tire light is on. And God bless him, he got out of bed, he put on clothes, and he went out in the garage and he made sure that all of my tires were okay. They were just a little bit low, he checked them, he put air in them at literally 10:30 p.m. So when he left, he knew I would be safe in my car. And I was like, I love you, I appreciate you. So if he would have left on time, the way the plans were supposed to go, I wouldn't have had him here to fix that for me. And so I'm grateful to the good Lord for blessing me with such a good man and for intervening in such a way where now that he's gone for 3 days, I can rest easy knowing I can get around with my car being safe. Hallelujah. By the way, by the time you see this video, he's gonna be back. So don't think that I'm home alone right now. I mean, I am, but not by the time you see this video, I won't be. So today, the one flaw, my energy is feeling relatively fine. Today's plan is not going to be, well, the next couple of days plan. So he's gone until Friday, which gives me Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to create vlog style content for you without having to worry about, you know, all the stuff that I always worry about when I say my husband's not home, yay, let me vlog. So I'm not gonna worry too much about like sit down videos unless the spirit moves me to do so. But good old Minnesota is experiencing its like first big cold snap, and it was like 34 degrees or something this morning. And I can feel it. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can feel it. The weather shift nails a lot of us. And as soon as the weather shifted, my throat, between all the singing I did yesterday, all the talking I've been doing in Vlogtober and all the stuff I'm doing online, I can feel a little bit in my sinuses and I can feel a little bit in my throat. Is it a cold or is it the weather? I'm thinking it's more than likely the weather, but we're going to be drinking tea today. We're going to be taking it easy today. Not too easy because I have stuff I want to do. And it's mostly like cleaning stuff out because garbage day is tomorrow, and you guys know I love a good clean out. I love a good clean out. I'm organizing my makeup drawers. I'm going through the pantry. I'm going through the refrigerator, and we are just getting things prepped and cleaned out. This is like spring cleaning, but for fall. That's what I'm doing today, and I'm very excited about it. So that's all I got. That's all I've got. So welcome to the vlog. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So it appears that I am starting to get really good. I'm really getting a feel for being able to pick out clothes in my summer color season. I've been talking about this ever since I got it done, but I got my colors done at House of Color. And because of that, I now know that I'm a summer, and I have this nifty little fan that is a great guide for what colors I'm supposed to be wearing to make me look my best, to really make me shine. And so my recent purchases from Target, I freaking nailed it, and I want to share. So yesterday, Sunday, whenever the last time I vlogged, I showed you these sweatpants that I was wearing, right? And they look kind of coral, but they're actually red. And can we talk about how they're literally a perfect match for this top color right here, which is in my color palette. Fantastic. So then, as I was there and I knew that I wanted to get a second pair of these sweatpants, I noticed that the jackets that were available, but the pants, not in my size, were this perfect brown. In my brain, I was like, no, this is definitely a summer brown. I have to have this brown. So I went online and I purchased them in my size. Y'all! Look at that. I nailed it again. But then the pièce de résistance. This is the thing that, like, do I need it? No, I need to try it on. Actually, let me try it on and show you. Okay, so the question is, do I need this? I don't know. It's, comfortable. Okay, so here's the thing. Once I put it, like, turned the light on and saw the blingy blingy, I love it. Yeah. I freaking love this. Do you see how it's got rhinestones? The entire thing. Like, bling is my middle name. I love things that glitter. I love things that shine, sparkle, all of that. I am the bling queen. But also, I saw it in store, and again, I bought it online because by the time we left, I wasn't sure if I wanted it, but it was on sale, like 30% off on Target Circle. So like, I got this for a steal. My husband is going to kill me because in store, he's like, you don't need another sweatshirt. But like, I kind of do. I kind of need this, don't you think? It's very, very comfortable, but let me show you the best part. I nailed it again. Oh my goodness. So that is 3 new pieces, all in my colors. I am living that summer color season life, and I love it. I love it. Y'all, I like this. Like, it's not like form-fitting or anything, but like, I approve. I approve. Love when the bling is built in, so I don't have to add anything extra. So I decided that tonight's dinner is going to be cauliflower gnocchi bowls. And I wanted to show you kind of how I make them, although it's going to be a little bit different tonight, but the concept is the same. So first, I'm making the whole container. Usually I split it up, and there's 2 different pans going, so my husband and I each have an equal serving, but since my husband's not here, I get the whole thing to myself if I want it, which is awesome. So the rule with Trader Joe's cauliflower gnocchi is you have to get it crispy. If you don't have that crisp on it, it kind of just turns to mush. So my favorite way to get that is to pan fry them, I guess is what you would call it. Saute them, get your olive oil nice and hot, and get these sides crispy. So I do one side until it's crisp, and then I'll flip it over so the other side gets crispy as well. My typical ingredients are Gilbert's caprese chicken sausages, a tomato of some kind, and a cheese of some kind. I am out of tomatoes and I don't have an active sauce open. So today I'm gonna make a change, and it might be horrible, but it kind of sounds amazing to me. I'm gonna put a splash of lemon in there as my acid. I have found that I love acid in my food. It's very, very good. So instead of tomato, which acts as the acid, I'm gonna use lemon. That's the only thing I'm gonna change. And then I'm gonna use the rest of this Parmesan cheese as my cheese of choice. We will see how it turns out. Here she is, the final product. I actually put in about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, and it doesn't seem to be too much, but I am so excited about this, you guys. It is 4:45, but I am making dinner now. Why? Because I'm ravenously hungry, and it seems stupid to have a snack only to have dinner later when I could just have dinner, take full advantage of the fact that my husband's not home, and eat when I'm hungry. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I ate it all. I ate the whole thing, my friends, and I am not even a little bit sorry. And here's the crazy thing. I'm not even like past fullness. I was ravenously hungry today, which I'm sure is because yesterday I believe I actually underate. That tends to happen on Mondays. My meal timings end up all off with me having to go to choir, and I had to go early. So I ate dinner at like 4:45, the same time as today, actually, now that I think about it. And so everything was just off. And then I came home and had like a handful of berries and a piece of Kringle before I went to bed at 10. So I don't think I ate very much yesterday, which is fine. Like, that's just the ebb and flow of life, right? That's intuitive eating. I wasn't ravenously hungry or anything yesterday, but today, even though I don't have a lot of activity under my belt, which I'm actually gonna go change because it is 57 degrees outside, so I'm gonna throw on a jacket and I'm going to go for a walk because it's sunny and beautiful, just a little bit cool. So I'm gonna go get some activity in at 5, whatever time it is, 10 after 5. But regardless of the lack of activity, I've been at my computer almost all day. That's not true. I did do a lot of cleaning things out, getting garbage ready to go out tomorrow, things of that nature. But in general, I sat and I edited 2 fairly long vlogs, got those rendering, getting those uploaded, worked on some coursework for a course I'm in, had a silent co-working session with my Patreon members, the whole 9 yards. And so it was a lot of sitting. And because it's Tuesday and Tuesdays are now known as my slower days, I didn't worry about it too much. I don't need to go downstairs. I don't need to push myself. Tomorrow there's time to push myself. And if I do just kind of the stuff around the house today, then I don't have to do it tomorrow. And tomorrow I can get up and I can work out and do all of those things. And it'll be great. So I'm just gonna go for a nice little walk, and then we'll see where the evening takes us. Want to hear something really interesting? That big, delicious meal that I had for dinner, 4 hours ago now, just about, was the thing that provided me with more energy than I've had all day. I am more energized at 20 till 9 than I was for the first 5 hours of the day. Make that make sense. I did, admittedly, so I wanted to have a little something something, a little deliciousness, and so I decided to seek out an edible cookie dough recipe. Not a diet cookie dough, not a protein cookie dough, good old classic cookie dough. And I found a recipe, and a very interesting thing happened. I made it, it had all of the ingredients that one needs for actual cookie dough, minus the eggs, and you heat treat the flour. Fun fact, one of the things that you need to make cookie dough edible is heat treated flour. One of the ways you can do this is put it in a 350-degree oven for, I think it's 10 minutes or so, like you spread it out on a cookie sheet. Do you know how much work that is? I actually don't, because I've never done it, because I am too lazy to discover it and find out. However, this recipe that I looked at, and it was from Cooking with Carly, K-A-R-L-I, in case you're curious, is microwave it for 30 seconds. This heat treats the flour enough so you can use it. And then everything else about it, she had the proportions whittled down for like a single serving of cookie dough. Instead of egg, you used a little bit of milk to provide the liquid that the egg would otherwise have provided. Anyway, all that to say, I whipped it up, I had the mini chocolate chips, and as I'm eating it, I'm realizing that it is just missing the mark. And I was like, what is this about? And it's not that, I don't think, it's not that the recipe is bad. The things that I've created from Cooking with Carly has all been really good. And so I was surprised to discover that I was underwhelmed by this recipe. And it's another one of those things that just, again, validates, like, when you allow yourself to have whatever you want. And again, I ate my full bowl of gnocchi tonight and I was like, you know what? I still want dessert. I'm gonna have a little something, something. And I made myself a special, non-dieted, non-nothing, just regular old cookie dough, something, something. And as I'm eating it, I'm like, it's just not, it's not hitting. It's not hitting the spot. And so I got rid of it. I was like, it's not even to me worth saving. And again, I don't know if it's the fault of the recipe or if it was the fault of my brain and my taste buds. And I say fault without actually blaming my taste buds because I'm actually not upset that the cookie dough didn't taste good. The weird thing is between the gnocchi and the cookie dough, like I'm energized. I almost am like, I should go and do the elliptical machine. And then I'm like, it's almost 9 o'clock. You should definitely not do that because I'm somebody who will get like the endorphin rush and want to keep going and it'll really jack up my everything. So we're gonna keep it slow. I've been cleaning the kitchen. The kitchen is beautifully spotless. I have been doing some clothing organization. I've just been, you know, moving and shaking and watching Will and Grace, not like the original series, but the reboot series. I finally finished the original series. Not that I hadn't finished it before, but the rewatch. And now I am working my way, I'm in the middle of season 2 of 3 of the reboot. And so I've just been listening to that because I actually watched, I think, over half of the new series too. And I just didn't realize how much of it I had watched before I stopped. Anyway, all that to say, I'm just kind of keeping myself busy, puttering around, enjoying the quiet, and playing with Gracie, who is extra needy and kind of button slamming because Daddy's not here. Therefore, she feels compelled. If I'm in the room and like sitting on the couch, she feels compelled to slam her buttons and get my attention and get me on the floor, but then proceed to not play with me and all of those things. That's really what's going on. I thought it was really interesting that the sweet treat that I thought in my head, I had thought it was going to be some sort of wildly satisfying and indulgent treat, and it missed the mark on every single thing. And here's the interesting part. I have no compulsion to go find something else either. Because quite frankly, there's not too much in the house by way of like treats. I have some pumpkin biscotti. I have Oreo thins with extra stuff because that is, in my opinion, the best proportion of Oreo cookie ever created. And some cowtails, if you know what those are. So like, and then there's ice cream. I never think about the ice cream and I never think about the Ninja Creamy either. The protein creamy that I have because I don't usually make it unless my husband's around to split it with me. And all of that to say, I just didn't feel a compulsion to be like, well, this didn't satisfy me, so I'm gonna go find something else and go through that motion of like, need to find the specific thing that just satisfies the itch. I was just like, this left me unsatisfied mentally and like taste bud wise, but like my tummy's not hungry. So I'm just gonna leave it. Like, I don't want anything else. Like, that's the thing. I had the big dinner, I had the cookie dough, and my tummy's like, no, you don't want anything else. So the interesting thing is, instead of the disconnect that used to happen, right? The disconnect between, well, I'm full, but I'm craving, so let me eat it anyway. There is no longer that disconnect. These two things are connected now. And so I'm sitting here going, I'm not hungry, and the craving side is therefore satisfied because my body is satisfied. And it's another step in the ladder of growing into this intuitive eating journey, which I think is really interesting because, again, this is not something I'm used to. When my husband leaves, because I'm an obliger, I tended to have full permission to go absolutely crazy, and I would just eat compulsively for no reason. Why? Because I'm not being supervised. Note, I'm never actually supervised. He doesn't watch and he doesn't care what I'm eating, but knowing that he's there to me makes it feel like there's supervision, and he's not here. And instead of, let me make a whole big thing of cookie dough or frosting or eat whatever's in the house. Like, yes, did I make a full bag of cauliflower gnocchi? Yeah. Is that a big deal? No. Like, not even a little bit of a big deal. It's just interesting that I would rather just sit and watch some television with no food. No food, completely satisfied, even a little full. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little full. I overate on the cookie dough a bit before I was like, actually this isn't satisfying you and now you're overdoing it, you need to stop. So I stopped, but I stopped, you know, I probably could have managed with none of the cookie dough, but I wanted that something special. So on the one hand, it was a learning experience to be like, actually, you didn't need the cookie dough to begin with, but then the mental and emotional journey I went on because of the cookie dough was also very, very helpful. So that's where I'm at. And I'm very, very excited about all of it. So I think I'm just gonna leave this video here for tonight. Thank you guys so much for spending Tuesday with me. I hope you are well. Subscribe for more Vlogtober. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and stay tuned for tomorrow where you will see my face again and we will hopefully have a day that's a little bit different from today. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Writing my email newsletter. Dealing with this. Yeah, you. Dealing with you, and I decided to turn on trash TV. It's what I call trash TV. I turned on The Golden Bachelor. I don't know why. I was just intrigued. I was intrigued and I needed something else to watch. I don't know. I can't explain it. But it's something for me to not pay attention to and just kind of have on in the background while I write my email newsletter and deal with this. Why are you the way that you are? Why?